Hello, first graders! Thank you for having your writing paper out. Just as always, we are sitting up nice and tall. Scoot your chair all the way in underneath you where your belly is touching your table and your back is touching the back of your chair. You kind of want to make yourself into a sandwich. Like I said, today we are going to be writing a sentence using some of the sounds that we now know. When we write sentences, the first thing we do is try to figure out how many words we're in charge of writing. So our sentence today is, I can sit on a pin. Say that with me. I can sit on a pin. Again, I can sit on a pin. Get your fist up. We're going to count it. I can sit on a pin. That is 6 words. Again, I can sit on a pin. 6 words we're in charge of writing. What was that first word? I. 2 things. We always start a sentence with a capital letter. On top of that, when we say the word I, you're talking about yourself, and you are an important person. So I is always capital when it's by itself. Now if we have an I in the middle of a word, we can do lowercase, but if we have the word I, it's always capital. So let me show you how to write that. We start at the top line, we pull straight down. We actually get to pick up our pencil, and what you're going to do is you trace the top line and you trace the bottom line. And that is a capital I. We are going to do a finger space. What was the next word? What was my sentence? I can sit on a pin. Okay, I already have I, so my next word is can. Can. Let me see. Fist up. We go k. Use k, s. Use a, and use Let's sound it again as we write it. K. Starting at 2 o'clock, around the clock to 4. Starting at 2, around to 2, down to the baseline. Starting at the midpoint, pulled down, up and over the top of the clock. Can. I can. What was the next word? I can sit on a pin. Okay, I can. The next word is sit. So let me get my fist up and sound it out. So we have s, it. I hope you have your fingers up and you're sounding it out with me. Again, s, it. Let's see. Use s, z. Use I, and use t. And we actually wrote this word in phonics yesterday. So we have s, I with a tiny dot, and t is a tall letter, and you cross on that dotted line. I can sit, what was the next word? I can sit on a pin. On. All right, fist up, sound it out. Ah. Use o, oo, and use Here we go. Starting at 2 o'clock, around the clock to 2. Starting at the midpoint, pull down, trace it up and over the clock. On. I can sit on. You know, once I put my finger space, I'm going to have to squeeze a letter in, and I really don't like squeezing letters in, but guess what? There's so many lines. I'm just going to go right down here to the beginning of the next line. I can sit on a. So, fist up. Let's sound out the word a. So the sound is a, and the letter you're going to use is the letter that says a, ah. Go ahead and write a, starting at 2. Around the clock to 2, pull straight down. Now let me tell you something about this letter. This letter does not use the first sound. This letter uses its second sound because we go a, ah. This is the second sound of A. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a little 2 over the top of it. This is not the first sound. So when someone's reading my sentence and they get to this A, they're not going to try and say ah. I can sit on a pin. Nope, it's not a pin. It's a pin. That's the second sound of A. A pin. I can sit on a pin. Okay, my last word is I can sit on a pin. So my last word is pin. Here we go. P, I, Again. P, I, Use p. Use I, and use Here we go. Finger space, P. Starting at the middle point, you're going to pull down all the way down to that next line. Trace it back up around the clock and give it a tuck. There should be a tiny little tent there. Starting at the middle point, pull down, pick up your pencil and do a tiny dot. Start at the midpoint, pull down, up and over the top of the clock. Pin. Now, does anybody know what comes at the end of a sentence? I know the beginning of the sentence has a capital, and I know we always have to end the end of a sentence with a period, and that's a tiny dot, just like on the I, and it sits right on the baseline. I can sit on a pin. Let me double check I have all my words. I remember I needed 6 words. I can sit on a pin. Yep, I have 6 words. That is all for our writing today for phonics, my friends. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow.